Here is today's project. I'm going to do my 250-hour service on my loader, which in that service is just engine oil, change and filter, and then the air filters. And actually I just replaced the outer one and the inner one. You can leave, but I've got the inner and the outer and everything here just because it has been so dry and dusty. I'm going to look at that, and if I need to, I'll just change both of them. But yeah, and I saw this yesterday. Can't really pull it apart, but yeah, nice little tear in that. I'm also going to these grease certs down here. I'm going to clean them out and probably pull them out and clean them because they're not wanting to take grease right now. So that's the nice part about that hydraulic quick coupler. I mean, you hit a button inside, but then they also seem like they get junk up there pretty easy and everything. So if you don't use them all the time, they kind of get stopped up. But so we'll get to flipping the cab up and draining the oil and kind of getting all that changed and getting it ready to go for the following week. We got let's see what we got coming up. We got another water and sewer line, and then try to start roughing in and getting some more yards and everything going. So rambling, get the camera set up, I already got the bolts out of the cab and it's warmed up, so we'll get the cab flipped up and start draining the oil. Alright, so the Takeuchis are Japanese, which is probably pretty obvious with a name like that, so everything on this thing is metric. And with Jimmy's handy magnet mount, I can actually just hang you guys right there underneath this thing. Got a little trap door in this bottom plate where you can take this cover off and get to the oil plug. Of course, it's always packed full of dirt. Really need to pull the plates off this sometime and power wash everything in the bottom out. I think the last time I did this, I did my 1,000-hour service, but nice and dry and dusty, you get all kinds of dirt up in there. Alright, here's your handy dandy little tool to drain the oil, and lay underneath here, my arm's not in the way. It's just basically a piece of 3/4 inch clear plastic tubing in this little 90-degree fitting. It actually doesn't come with the machine, but it shows how to do this in the book. So right after I first bought it, me being me, just went back to the dealer and asked them if they had one or if it was supposed to come with it. I don't even know if it comes with the new ones, but and it may with the brand new ones. I guess if you're gonna pay $87,000, I could throw one in. But this deal was like 65 bucks for this little fitting and clear tube. If I can get my hand to work to start. There we go. But I probably could have made it for much less than Yeah, now we're draining slowly but surely, so we'll go back up top, get the filter changed in the air filters. Went ahead and put the fill plug, took it off so it'll drain out a little bit quicker. And then here's the air, and you got a little handle you can, or air filter, sorry. So pop this out. See, the inner is not terrible, but I may go ahead and replace it just because it's been super dusty and dirty around here. Okay, so yeah, like I said, this one's not too bad. It's pretty dirty, but I mean, it's only been in there. I may have changed it a couple of weeks ago when it was real dusty, but might as well put a new one in there and better be safe than sorry. I don't know why this is. Seems like every time I get one of these, it's either this one or the other one. They always go back and forth and it's different. Well, yeah, I don't know, sometimes it's this one, sometimes it's this one. I don't know if it's just where they get it from, or I think the part numbers are the same, so it always throws me off. This one probably comes from Japan or something. I know it seemed like this time they were more expensive than what they have been, so yeah, maybe that these are actually the OEMs or something, because I think I bought these before and they were, I don't know, $25 or something a filter, and now when I went and got this one, the outer and the inner yesterday, they were $65 a piece. So see, this air filter is different looking than yeah, see, there's completely different looking, but this one is made in Japan, and then this one says made in USA. So you kind of go back and forth on maybe where they get their stuff at. Alright, the air filter's changed, and we'll go up top and get the oil filter changed. Alright, see if we can climb up here without busting our butt. And yeah, there it is, the engine and the two tandem pumps and everything. Yeah. This is the oil filter down here, and then that's the fuel. Because actually coming up on the next service will be the 500-hour service. We'll do the engine and air, and we do the fuel filter, and then right down here, inside there is a pilot line filter. That's no little canister filter that goes to all, because I guess this pump kind of controls, it runs to the controls on the joysticks and everything, and then these are the two main tandem pumps here. And see, the top crane may be able to correct me on some of that. I'm not as mechanical as him. I just know that these are the two main pumps, and then this is a smaller pump that may control the functions and stuff. So Jimmy can set the record straight on that. See how tight this thing is. Ooh, that wasn't bad. This thing really tightens down. And the only annoying part about this thing being on its side is you always dump oil right over there, and it almost lines up with the hole down there at the bottom. It does eventually kind of make its way to run out to there, but that is one of the reasons that I get all that extra dirt and junk down there. Alright, so we've got the new filter here. I like to take a little bit of the oil and dump in there. I don't put a whole lot in there since you lay it over on the side, it just runs out. But at least get a little bit in there and then get it on that O-ring. Make a mess. I run the Rotella 1540 T5, which is a synthetic blend. That's what I got running in here. That's what I put in my pickup and then my dump truck. I don't know if that's the best, or do this without falling down, or what I really need to be running. Like I said, Jimmy or Richard would be the two that would probably, like I said, know more about that than I do. It's just that that stuff's readily available here where I'm at. I usually just run the standard T4 1540, so. But with this thing getting a little more hours on it, and I thought maybe it was a little bit better grade of oil. Alright, that's tight enough on that. So yeah, like I said, on a lot of this stuff, and it's not that I don't know, I guess I kind of have the basic knowledge on this, or I've always changed the oil on all my stuff and everything, but I'm sure there's other oils and products and stuff out there that people will say may be better. That's just, excuse me, what I've always put in everything. Like I said, here at O'Reilly's, it's just right down the road. It's just easy for me to get. Not the most with. I think they have that and maybe like a Mobile One or something to carry, but I've just always kind of used the Rotella. So far, so good. Like I said, it's got, man, it looks like 6412. And this machine is a 2011, I believe, or the end of 11. Yes, I got it in 12, so it was like not quite a year old when I bought it. And it had the 900 hours on it or something when I got it. So put quite a bit of seat time on this one. Okay, we'll go back under the bottom, see if we're done draining. Put the plug back in and fill her up with oil. Looks like we're just at a drip every now and then, so I think we've got everything drained out. Let's see if I can get this thing off. And not drop it in the oil. I'm kind of glad I watched that Jason Works a Lot video on this when he changed it on Wifey Works a Lot's trucks. Now I kind of got the steps down. Even though he took my tools, but luckily I don't really need a wrench for this one. And put my little cap on or whatever. It doesn't really leak out because inside that plug there's just a spring, and then as you tighten down that other fitting with that piece of clear tubing on there, it pushes on that, and that's how it drains out. So but I like to try to keep this cap on there just so it's not getting junk in there. Alright, let's go up top and start it. Alright, let's see if I can not spill it. This hood, it's kind of, there, yeah. This machine takes 14 quarts, so 3.5 gallons, I believe. 2. Alright, we'll check it there and fire it up. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a hair over the full dot, so we'll fire it up and get that filter full and make sure it doesn't have any leaks anywhere. I'm borderline OCD when it comes to that stuff, so I always check and recheck and double check on if everything's tight or if it's leaking anywhere. I've just always kind of been paranoid on that stuff, I guess. And like I said, I always check down here, which, I mean, there's some of that. That's coming from where the old filter got taken off and dumped out. And then I'll go check the filter. Climb up here again. It's a lot easier to do with the bucket. It's not as tall. But yeah, you can see this thing's in desperate need of a bath, and then all this dirt and junk that's underneath there, I need to get that out because it'll just kind of insulate those lines and everything and make them hotter. So it'd be a good idea to pull those plates off and get everything power washed off. So. And that basically sums it up for the 250-hour service. Get the door shut, get the cab put back down and bolted in. But yeah, pretty cut and dry on that. So I just kind of go over everything I made once I get it all put the cab down and everything. Fire it back up, pull it over outside, and take that bolt and that bolt, and the radiator swings open about that far so you can get to the front and back side, because half of it's the hydraulic cooler and the other half is the radiator and stuff, so you can get all that cleaned out. But yeah, I just kind of will go over and check it. The hydraulic level is right where you want it, right there. You probably can't even see it very well in the video, but it's right in the middle where it needs to be. And just kind of make sure, and you know, you don't see any other fluids or anything like that leaking out, and just kind of go over it, and it'll be good to go for another 250 hours. Like I said, the next service is the 500-hour service, so we do the same thing we just did with this one, but we also change the spin-on fuel filter, pilot line filter for the hydraulics, and then the end tank hydraulic filter is inside there, and it's just a metal kind of canister colander looking filter. You change that out, and then you'll come out here and take the gear oil out and change it in the planetaries and everything. And basically, to do that, you get this thing spun around where that's the bottom hole, and yeah, you fill it, you get it turned around, so basically it'd be like that. Drain it out there, put that back in, you fill it here till it starts running out of that one, and then you tighten those down, and then you do that every 500 hours on those. And that usually stinks when it comes out of there. And then another 250, and then the 1,000-hour service is the big one where you actually pull the radiator and everything out. You'll drain all the hydraulic fluid, and down in here is the suction strainer that actually sucks all the fluid out of the tank and puts it through the machine. So you'll replace that in-tank filter, and then this one, you can actually just take it out and clean it real well and just make sure there's no metal or junk or anything like that in the hydraulics. So it doesn't take all that long to do, but it takes quite a while to get this radiator and everything, because you got to drain all the antifreeze out of it, and then there's 2 pins that fit down through there, and this thing's got to be lined up just right to get it in and out of there, and then you got to bust these lines loose to get those out of the way. And that thing's fairly heavy even with nothing in there. So that's usually kind of the big one or whatever, but I just did it earlier this spring. I put back down, we'll change these certs out, and I'll probably go ahead and get it all greased and everything, that way it's ready to roll for tomorrow. Here it's got these 4 bolts, 2 on each side. Just go down and I actually just keep a ratchet and stuff in here just in case I'm out on the job somewhere and have to flip the cab up for any reason. My ratchet, my little pipe, I don't get crazy with them, but get them fairly snug because this thing will rattle pretty bad if not. And for me, it's just easier, which I don't even know if this is going to focus or not, but I keep everything I've ever done to this machine in my phone. Basically, when the date, the hours, exactly what I did, so I can always look back and know, which I think this only goes back to, yeah, May of 15. I think I got a new phone then or something, but I've got stuff wrote down on my binder prior to then, but yeah, at that time, May 29th of 15, I was at 3,184 hours. So, I mean, like I said, anything I've ever done, you know, new door cylinders, new tracks, new cab cylinders, change the oil, installed a new bucket, and the drive sprockets here, had the overhead ran. Like I said, anything and everything I've done, and then this is like a 1,000-hour service deal, and wrote down how much when I charged the AC, when I just did re-glued the glass on the door frame and everything. So yeah, it's all in there with both 2 machines, the dump truck, my pickup. I've got everything. There's all the stuff for the excavator, and then the dump truck doesn't have a whole lot, except my friends across the street do that. So it's all in their file folder. Then I got a file folder at the house on that. So I just don't have any paper documents on this. I have to keep track of everything I do. So this is a good way that I can remember that I got something that's coming up that needs to be done. So that's just kind of one of the things that helped me organize, where I don't have to have it wrote down somewhere to lose it or anything like that. I can kind of just check back on here and see when I'm getting close. And that completes the 2-hour-and-50 service. Got it all done, everything all greased up, and radiator blown out. So now it's all ready to roll for the upcoming week. Like I said, I got a few yards to put in and another water and sewer line and everything to get this thing washed and waxed up and